This American Monster. A Monster of the Week actual play from This American Dice. Last time on This American Monster. After terrible, unseasonable storms, Palmetto City is eerily quiet. Does this quiet have anything to do with the Law Corporation's mysterious missions abroad? And how does it connect to the discoveries of an archaeologist here in the city? Is this merely quiet, or prelude to quietus?
And you have a vision of just like being at your house and hearing skittering and chittering noises. And you're kind of like, wait, what's going on? And you go to the lights and you like can't turn them on. You're like trying to find a light switch, but it's just not there. And you feel these things at your legs and you realize you're just like, your floor is covered in rats. There's just rats all over the place. They're as dense as like a shag rug as they're kind of scurrying around all over the carpet or all over your floor, and they're kind of crawling up your legs. What is a terrifying thing that you see that relates to blood? Because we already saw that from the hook. What is something that relates to blood that you see in this nightmare? Did they just bite you a bunch and you're bleeding? Are the rats covered in blood?
Oh, I was thinking similar to that, maybe more graphic. But I was thinking he tries to get out of this floor of rats, this rat carpet, and maybe jumps up, does the stereotypical like jumps up on a couch or something, and then he just notices from his like knee down, it's like degloved, it's just like muscle and sinew left, like bleeding all over his couch or something disgusting.
Okay, yeah. And you're looking down at your legs and you're like, and you look to the side and you see an image of you see Reagan saying like, Ashton, are you okay? And you're like looking down at your legs again, and when you look back up at her, like all of her skin is off and she's just like coming toward you, and then you just wake up being like, ah!
Mm-hmm.
In the back of the van.
I'll say, like, as you come to, we had actually stopped into like a fast food place to like get food because we've been driving around for a while, and to like research, like ask people in the area. And as we're picking up, as we're like making the order, it's just like, ah,
yeah, exactly.
And the person on the other side of the microphone like pauses, just like, I didn't catch that. Sorry, what was that? Was that fries?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's like, get him off, and like rolls around the back of the van or something for a second, and just like, oh my god.
Darkblade bolts out of the car. He's freaked out and just bolts out of the Wendy's parking lot.
Darkblade kicks into action gear in this Wendy's drive-through, and he runs out of the car.
Yeah, because there's something's getting Ashton.
This is like abrupt chaos.
So you run out and you're like, you're yelling, and everything seems to be in the van fine. So Sundry and Chase Welker looking back, Ashton is just kind of like screaming and slapping these things, trying like pulling himself out of the seatbelt and rolling around in the van. And the van, because it has the monster cage, it's not hugely big in like the area where you can sit.
It's very uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable. And so he's kind of like rolling around. And if you imagine trying to like roll around in just a regular seat in a car, it's very awkward.
Okay, so Walker will like be trying to finish the order because that's what's polite. But in the meantime, he'll be like, "What the hell was that?" I'm sorry. Pardon. Are you all right, Mr. Greene?
And he's like, yeah, I guess so. I guess I must have fell asleep or something.
He says, your nightmare seems to have frightened Mr. Blade more than it frightened you.
And he's like, I would have thought that would be impossible, but you might be right.
Well, as he's not here to give an account of himself, I can only assume. Where is Blade going?
He's going to the Chipotle next door.
So he's leaving the Wendy's
Yeah.
drive-through and going to a Chipotle.
It was a matter of taste all along.
Yeah.
We'd actually had a
No,
long
he comes
argument
back.
before getting here about which one to go to, and we just assumed this is part of that.
He's like, I was looking for an excuse to go to Chipotle, so this works out pretty well.
Oh boy. And it's not that he likes the food at Chipotle better, it's that he hates the idea of baked potatoes being a fast food item.
It is a precarious situation.
So, okay.
Okay. All right. Walker would just like once this order's complete, he's like, listen, we've been here for an hour and a half now. Are any of you seeing anything worthy of investigation here?
At a Wendy's?
Well, Wendy's is a part of the greater downtown excessive quiet.
So, could either Mr. Welker, Darkblade, or maybe Sundry go ahead and roll plus sharp? So I think I can give you one of these some investigative mystery information based on what you guys have been doing.
I'll do it. I got up. Alex, did you just roll?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Got a 5.
All right, cool. Well, alrighty. So I'll say that Darkblade, after his freak out, he does kind of come to his senses as he gets to that Chipotle door, and he notices that they're closed. And he's like, "Oh, I just missed them. Damn it! I wanted those sweet beans." And he kind of turns back around and he looks around and notices what Ashton had said was correct. That in addition to being, it is really, really quiet. There usually are more homeless folks or like out on the street, and there just aren't. There are other people around, but a lot of the folks that you would usually see on the street, like hanging around, not going from one place to another, they're not there. And yeah, it's a Monday, it's quieter for sure, but you're noticing that. And then you kind of put 2 and 2 together with what Detective Winters had said to Mr. Welker, that it's been the last week and a half, 2 weeks. And you notice that's after those storms stopped. So you guys had been having all these crazy weather patterns here in Palmetto City. Those storms stopped. And now in that time, things have been much more quiet. So I think Darkblade kind of makes that connection.
And then I come back to the car.
All right.
Do you have Chipotle?
He does not.
No. I mean, I always forget how much their guac costs by the time I get to the register.
I'm going to fast forward stuff from there to give you guys a heads up. So, a few days later, maybe Wednesday, I think that you guys, especially Ashton and Mr. Welker, are able to get some news. One, for Mr. Welker, you receive, courtesy of the Lore Corporation, a ticket for you and your wife to attend this like big event at the Palm Coast Natural History Museum. Really, it's just 2 tickets. You don't have to go with your wife, but it's like you receive 2 of these tickets for the Lore Corporation, and it basically, there's a very broad letter that kind of says like, or a very broad thing that's like, hey, as kind of a Lore Corporation representative in this area, if you want to go to this thing, the Lore Corporation is involved with various foundations and other groups that are connected to this museum.
Sure. Mr. Walker finds the invitation, tosses it aside, has no intention of going. His wife, Julia, finds it and is like, we've been doing nearly as many things together as we used to. I want to go.
Awesome.
Like, fine.
Yeah. And she'll kind of like get into this idea of like, this sounds like the kind of event that somebody would get invited to in like in Gotham City in a Batman movie. Like, this sounds exciting.
All right, Walker will be kind of like, it's not that exciting, but you know what? Absolutely, it'll make you happy.
So I think you guys have been able to kind of spend a little bit more time together, and she's like appreciative of that. So it is scheduled for, it's just scheduled for Friday night. It's supposed to be like a Friday night event. So it's Tuesday or Wednesday when you get this thing.
Cool.
Ashton, you are hanging out with Reagan, and there is something about her that's off. So yeah, we'll say it's similar like Wednesday night.
So yeah, he might just say, "Oh, is everything okay? What's happening?"
You
seem so distant.
Yeah, you guys are. Maybe you're like at your apartment, and you guys are trying to watch like a movie or a TV show or something like that, and she just kind of seems like she's just not into it. She's just like looking out the window regularly, checking her phone. There's things going on, and I have to look into those things, and so we should watch this movie another day. And maybe it's a TV show that you're watching, but she calls it a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, what? This is The Office, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like basically like really out of it. Like, oh, we should watch this movie another day. I gotta go. I think I keep forgetting stuff that I have to do.
Oh, I mean, like, what's going on? Can I help, or?
It's just the stuff with the newspaper, and I have to look into stuff, and I've got school, and I really appreciate it, but I have to get going to do something anyway.
I have to return some videotapes.
Yeah, I got some videotapes to return.
Yeah, I guess I have to let her go. There's no, can't really, if she's not willing to kind of divulge what's going on.
Would you want to try to read her in this situation? Or would you view this as a bad situation, perhaps? Or is this more of a manipulate in that you're trying to say like, hey, I will help you, and trying to get her to tell you what's up?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. If I could try to manipulate her, just that I can help you, just let me know what's going on.
Sure. Go ahead and make your charm roll.
Oh man, rolling so poorly. Oh, okay, that's still an 8 then total.
An 8. Okay. So she'll say like, if I tell you, will you just let it go?
He's like, yeah, of course.
Okay. So yeah, so the thing that she wants is for you to basically like drop it, let it go. Like, she's going to leave. She's got stuff to do. And she'll tell you she's just like hasn't been feeling well lately in the last like day or so. She'll tell you that she's like, I haven't been feeling so well lately. And she's like, I got this great opportunity from Dr. Lester to work at, to volunteer at this, at the museum. And I'm really worried that that's going to get messed up. There's a big event that's going to happen at the end of the week, and I want to make sure everything's good. So I'm stressed out about it because it's kind of a new gig, and I'm trying to make sure that and she's kind of nervous as she's talking, and she's like, I got a lot of plates I'm trying to keep spinning here. I got these things that we were looking into, and I haven't been able to find anything else out since we talked about this stuff last time, and now I've got another responsibility with this, and it's adding up. it's starting to get under my nerves. I don't want if Dr. Lester can help us out with these things, that's great. And if there's this museum that it has all these connections, and that would be awesome to impress them. And now there's a big thing going on Friday, and I got to make sure that I do as much as I can to not only help them, but make sure they know that I'm helping them. It's a lot.
Oh yeah, I understand how, work has to come first.
She's like, and I think she'll kind of like frantically kind of gather up her things and say and you kind of look at her, and she definitely looks a little more like pallid. She doesn't look great. Like, just looks a little sick, or like a little run down or ragged or tired. And she'll say like, thank you. And I think she'll like give you a kiss, and it's kind of like leave. Maybe she even maybe if there's like a hallway that she has to go down to like leave, she'll go the wrong way for a couple of steps before she turns and goes the right way. So like seemingly like she's disoriented, not like drunk disoriented, but just like not drunk disoriented, and not Kramer disoriented, which was the noise I just made.
She slides out of
It's like stressed out.
I got a lot of stress.
So his leads are it's quiet, too quiet.
Yeah, that's basically the deal. Is that it's a little too quiet in this area where it shouldn't be, and you even had like kind of a veteran cop telling you this is weird. You also had those crazy unseasonable storms.
And like, who are the people who Sundry knows besides like the private detective? I guess there's a private detective, the bar people, and then.
Yeah, actually, that's a good. You probably know a lot of folks at a lot of bars in the area, and could essentially just, if you'd be comfortable with it in your new more sober state, kind of going around and either calling those folks or going around bar to bar and just talking to them.
Yeah, maybe he does that.
Awesome. Cool. Could you make a sharp roll for me?
Sure. Seven.
Awesome. So I think that you can definitely get information from a lot of bartenders, bouncers, other folks who are like bar flies. And they'll tell you that, especially at the shittier bars, they'll tell you business has been down. And a lot of them will kind of get into this like, oh, well, we had those crazy storms for a while, and that always fucks up business for sure. When you got hail coming down, feels like somebody's whipping a bunch of golf balls at you. Yeah, that's going to drive business away for a while.
Let's not talk about golf balls.
Yeah, and you're like, oh. Yeah, you're literally like, your whole... We flash back to in the back of the van, just a putter that's been bent in half. But yeah, so they'll, especially at some of the shittier bars, they'll tell you that essentially customers that they had that were either homeless folks who would come in for a drink or two, or kind of folks who were just
down on their luck.
Yeah, real down on their luck bar flies who would be there pretty regularly. They're seeing fewer of those people. And in fact, they'll even say like some of them have gone missing. Not missing where they're calling the police, but missing like, you'll hear this from a few people where they're like, I wonder if something happened, if somebody pissed them off, if they pissed somebody off, if they straight up moved, if there's some place that's cheaper and now I gotta fucking lower my prices for drinks because otherwise these winos won't come in here to get anything. So you're hearing like a lot of that kind of stuff from various bartenders.
So maybe some of
the bouncers are concerned that they're like, it's been so quiet, I legitimately think so-and-so's not gonna have me on for as many nights a week, that kind of thing.
Maybe I'll ask some of the bartenders like, hey, is there anyone in particular you maybe want me to look in on, make sure he's doing okay?
Sure. And they'll give you the name of somebody. They'll say like, well, for example, Give me an animal, Alex.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Give me a common first name, David.
Pete.
Old Squirrel Tooth Pete. You know what I'm talking about? You remember him? He'd usually sit in the back. Call him that because he's always just sitting there. Would eat all the free peanuts.
All right.
After he, I told him you got to blah blah blah, but I haven't seen him. And again, it's not even after the storm. I don't know where this guy went.
Where do you live?
Oh, you can tell he lived nearby. Never saw him at a car. Never saw him in a cab. Has to have lived nearby enough to walk. And I think he used to hang out with some other folks that would sometimes be over at such and such a convenience store.
All right.
And so I think that this person doesn't know, but they're fairly positive that Squirrel Tooth Pete was either like homeless or a person who was in like an ultra constantly transient living situation.
Well, I'll see if I can't rustle him up. And if I do, I'll let you know.
So if you go to other places, you'll essentially find some of the same story. If you go to that convenience store where Squirrel Tooth Pete hung out, there'll be folks who say, I appreciate, like, I haven't seen him. I also haven't seen him. Other folks who would come in who would like associate with him, I also haven't been seeing in the last week or so. Some of the store owners are happy about it, but they're like, oh, that guy would come in here and be a real pain in the ass. But other folks are like, as annoying as those people are, they still pay for stuff and now they're not around. And I think you can map stuff out.
Okay.
And if you kind of like go to all of these places, it is very much located in not just downtown generally, but in a specific area. And Ashton actually lives in that area.
Oh, interesting. All right. So I'll report this back to the group. And I have a cunning plan.
I have a cunning plan.
So look, y'all, it sounds like something or someone is running up all these bums and hobos and winos and, down on their lock taps and doing God knows what to them. But that's why it's so quiet around here. And if you ask me, we should set up a little honeypot, have one of us masquerade as one of these hobos or drunks or winos and, get disappeared.
So you think there's something to Winter's idea that downtown is too quiet?
I mean, you take all the hobos out, that's gonna get rid of a lot of low-level crime.
Well, listen, Mr. Charm.
But maybe also get rid of the flavor of the city, the je ne sais quoi of what makes like a Palmetto City tick,
What man wants to live in a flavorless city? It's like making ramen and not putting in the spices.
Or having just regular Cheetos rather than spicy Cheetos.
Or ordering Chipotle and leaving your queso on the counter.
Yeah.
That's just damn tragedy.
You know what? I'm in. You son of a bitch.
So you'll be the wino?
Oh.
I could think of no one better.
I could think of 3 people better. No offense, but I'm not sure I could really play that part terribly well. He's like gestures down that he's always in a suit.
Well,
and he like looks without really meaning to, but like instinctually turns to Darkblade before he corrects himself. It's like, I mean, if we have any volunteers.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. I mean, set me up. I can get myself looking messy real quick.
Well, you know what? This is your operation, Mr. Charms. I'm happy to play second fiddle to your first chair violin.
Okay. Well, one of us should go to a bar and just, look like a real piece of shit, and just I guess walk around in front of convenience stores and such, and the rest of us will just tail in our little vein.
Is Sentry Charms just describing like a normal night for him that
Yeah.
we just wants to still watch?
Yeah, he's like, we'll start at this bar, then we'll go to this bar, then we'll go to this bar. Okay.
Talk
And
to
then
Lucy.
Then we'll get a burrito at this bar. All right. And take a night nap in this little ditch over here.
He brings up his Google Maps. The history has been etched into it like over and over again.
Yeah, like the ditch has a gold star in front of it.
Okay. All right. So to recap what you guys know for sure, the downtown area, specifically the area around where Ashton lives, has been a lot more quiet, especially folks who are like homeless folks or people who are much more kind of like down on their luck, have been in some cases missing. This hasn't really been reported to the police because nobody knows exactly what the deal is. And some people are straight up glad that they're gone. You also know that this kind of a little too quiet situation began about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago at the end of those unseasonable storms.
Okay.
All right. I just wanted to throw that out there in case there's anybody who's like, oh, well, before we hit the pavement, is there anything else we want to like try to find out?
Maybe like a paranormal meteorologist. Dark Blades, do you date one of those?
I was just about to ask that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I definitely know some people who are into, well, I don't know if it's really paranormal weather so much as just Obama weather. It's definitely, I mean, it didn't start at Obama, it's just the way people refer to it these days. But CIA weather is the actual technical term for it.
All right.
Was that like cloud seeding or something? Is that a real conspiracy?
The chem streams, the chemtrails.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's that too.
Turning us gay.
All right. So, is it possible for me to stumble across something important?
You kind of walk around, and again, this isn't the area that you live in, so it's very convenient for you to just kind of like wander around, and you're kind of maybe getting used to.
Oh, maybe he's in like has a whole joggers like outfit. This is Michael Cera from that other movie he was in where he was a jogger, right?
You're in like jogger gear. Are you actually jogging, or are you just wandering around being like, boy, I just finished jogging, just everywhere you're walking? I feel like
he went to like Walmart or Payless or something to get like a headband and everything. Be like, well, I have to look inconspicuous. So he's in like little shorts and stuff. So I think he's like running, but he has no idea what jogging. He's probably doing it completely wrong.
Sure. So it's like Tuesday or Wednesday night, and you're jogging. You're
Sure.
jogging around awkwardly, and for the most part, you're seeing that it is indeed a lot quieter. The only person that you see is actually fairly close to your place. You do see one person, and just for the shit of it, it is the guy in the cat shirt.
Yeah.
And you kind of encounter him, and he looks really rough.
It's Scat Cat.
Hold up.
You're
You're saying it's a guy in a cat shirt, and he looks rough?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the dog shirt.
Must make sure I got that right, meow.
Would you prefer if he looked perfect? Yeah.
There we go.
Meow. He's got a tail for you. Now, why don't we scratch this one out? Anyway, he lifts his leg up and he licks his butthole. But yeah, so you see this guy, and I think that he's near this museum where you guys can kind of like encountered him before, and he looks very. Do you see that guy? Yeah, fuck it. Just encounter. Like you see this guy again, and he looks very, very kind of out of it. And he he encounters like he's here's a nuts thing that you see. You are kind of jogging and you see this guy kind of like stumbling around a little bit and muttering, and eventually you're like, wait a minute, that's that guy that we always see in the cat t-shirt. And I think he's not wearing that shirt, but so it takes you a second to realize it's him. He's shirtless, and he looks very like skinny. He'd maybe been thin, but not super skinny. He looks much, much skinnier, and he's kind of like moving with a weirder gait as he's kind of like walking down the street. And you see him dive into this thing of like boxes and bags, like maybe knocking over some garbage cans and that kind of stuff.
He might go over it like, "Oh, are you okay?"
And when you say that, when you turn around, this guy's definitely like ripped into a rat, and he's just like eating it, and he goes like, "Ugh!" And
and the TV movie of this that flashes back to his like rat dream for a second.
Yeah. Either that or it would be the commercial break. Yeah. But so this guy just looks at you and like makes like a crazy noise. And you can remember speaking to this man before. Like, so like you can vaguely remember the sound of his voice. And again, we had described you and Reagan's interactions with this man as not unpleasant. And now he's just like holding this thing. He's shirtless. He's got this big rat. He's got like kind of the blood, maybe some of like the fur is there. It's like maybe even still like wiggling some, or maybe not anymore. Maybe it was when you first saw it. Now he's kind of like twisted it into his mouth. And what is your response to that one?
I feel like just the dramatic, like backing up slowly, like, are you okay? But really just trying to probably get out of there.
Okay.
Or if this is a bad situation, let me know.
This sounds like it's a bad situation.
That's fine to me.
Hey, then I'll try and read that.
Go for it.
Oh, dang, girl. I got a 10 plus some amount. 1.
All right.
So 11.
11. All right, so you get 2 Tootsie Rolls.
And 3 hold, right?
Yes, 3 of those questions. I forgot if it was 2 or 3.
But 2 Tootsie Rolls for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you have to ask 3 of those questions. I'll try to answer those the bestest I can for this situation.
Whew, okay, well, I guess what I was literally saying was, are you okay? So I guess the first one makes most sense. What's the best way to protect the victims?
What's the best
Assuming
way?
he's a victim?
What's
Or the rats.
Nobody thinks about the rat.
Yeah, nobody thinks about the rats. Yeah, you hear Vincent Price as Ratigan being like, ah. I'm just going to say something has done something to this guy. He seems like he was a victim. He's not in the role of victim presently. So the best way to protect the victims is for you to get out of there, because you are seeming like the most likely victim going forward in this situation.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's good. What are any dangers we haven't noticed, I guess?
As this guy, I think he starts like kind of somewhat lurching towards you. He was kind of down, squatting on his knees, like amid this trash. And as he turns toward you, you notice the like blood-covered teeth in his mouth are not normal teeth. They look like like fangs. Like he has a bunch of sharp teeth in his mouth, almost like a dog or a cat, especially around the canine teeth.
Definitely
and,
not like a bat.
Yeah, and he has like his fingernails are kind of like nastier. They were probably not the world's best before, but you look at them and they are like longer. And he has started to kind of like lurch towards you, I think.
Knowing that, what's my best way out? Is my final question.
You can probably straight up just run the hell out of here, like away. Is probably a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
You live pretty close by and can just straight up run to your apartment. There's this museum nearby. There's other like shops and apartments and that kind of stuff. But truth be told, probably just straight up running away would be your best way to just get out of here.
Yeah, I think he might dramatically do that then.
All right. So let's have you make that cool roll to get the hell out of this situation, to act under pressure. The pressure of being grabbed by this this man you used to know so pleasantly as the man in the cat shirt.
Mm-hmm. I assume we get +1 to this, right?
You do. You are acting to get out of here.
These things.
You got it.
Well, still a 9.
This person grabs you. This man that you had known in the past is the man wearing the cat t-shirt. Kind of, as you try to back up, he grabs at you, and he maybe grabs you and tries to bite you on like maybe the forearm or the bicep or something like that. He essentially just grabs the extremity nearest to him and just bites at it. And
I feel Ashton definitely doesn't have any bicep of note.
Okay, it's
yeah,
just forearm, then bones, then
it's like the Popeye thing where it goes under.
But he bites you probably on the arm, and it's extremely painful for a moment, and then you're kind of able to struggle away. So you're going to end up taking 2 harm from this.
Mm-hmm.
But you are able to kind of like shake this person off and kind of knock them into some of these like garbage cans and that kind of stuff. And they kind of like writhe around or roll around as you get the hell out of there and just kind of race back to your apartment holding your arm that you definitely had this like bite in. And when you go back to your apartment, you're kind of holding this thing. You maybe run it under some water, maybe throw some rubbing alcohol or hydrogen peroxide. You might put that on yourself. And if you don't have that, maybe like Listerine or something else that just uses some kind of antiseptic to clean this. A person just bit you after they'd been eating a rat they found in the garbage. That doesn't exactly sound like the cleanest of situations. I think once Ashton is done with doing that, and he's rubbed whatever antiseptic type thing that he might have, when he looks down, for the most part, there are bruises on his arm. But for the most part, it's just 2 bite marks.
I would love for a way for us all to go to this gala. What if it's as simple as like Mr. Walker like responds to the invitation is like, but as a professional, I won't attend any company functions unless my entire team is represented.
I guess this sounds like an agency move.
Deal with the agency?
Yeah. To see if you can get the agency to pull you some strings to get like more tickets and it not be like a, hey, we're muscling in here kind of a thing of, or like,
I got 10.
Yeah, I guess that works. So, and I'll even give you some additional information with that 10. I think you kind of like contact somebody about this and you maybe leave a message. Contact Anna Cross. Like she's often the person that you end up contacting about this kind of stuff.
Awesome.
And you contact her and she's like,
oh, absolutely. I'll look into it. We'll see if we can get you some additional tickets and send them your way. Shouldn't be too difficult.
And so she basically tells you, I'm going to send you those way as soon as I talk to some folks. And she'll give you a name. And that name is Desiree Augustine. And Desiree Augustine is the head of the Palm Coast Natural History Museum. And she's like,
I'll contact her office and try to get something for you. It might be a little last minute. Just make sure, of course, that...
and she sounds like a little bit kind of flustered, but she just says,
Just be sure that anyone that is attending represents the Lore Corporation in the best possible light.
I feel like it goes without saying, Miss Cross.
And she kind of does, like, oh, of course. If it goes without saying, it goes without saying. And then, at some point in this conversation, she kind of works her way into asking you if you were able to get the paperwork signed by the Hellingers.
I believe I sent them into your office earlier in the week. And, that reminds me of me to ask you, they said they haven't had any contact with Roberta. I was just wondering, I'm sure that she's very busy.
Could I retcon one thing out of that? Not retcon. Could I adjust one thing out of that?
She was a man the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's me, Arnold Cross.
No,
She's dead.
no,
I'm dead.
Instead of you sent those to her, she told you to get them signed and then just hold on to them.
Perfect. Yeah, that works.
And so she'll say like she'll ask you the same question, like, you got those. I had been meaning to ask you. You got those papers signed by the Hellingers, right?
Absolutely. I have them with me. And in fact, will you be at this event?
She'll
realize
say-
now that might be a weird question, as I'm a branch and she's like a higher up.
Oh no, and I think this is weird. And she'll say,
Actually, I'm going to be in the area later tonight or tomorrow. Could you and I meet so I could get the paperwork from you?
Absolutely. And while I was there, I just couldn't help but we were talking, and I just wanted to ask. They said they haven't gotten any phone calls from Roberta. I'm sure she's very busy, but they seem to be a little uneasy about it. I mean, I understand that. Maybe she passed along the word to Roberta that sometimes it's good to hear a daughter's voice.
Oh, absolutely. You're a father, right, Mr. Welker?
Twice.
To say congratulations would be odd, but I was a young woman, and there were definitely times that I would not speak to my parents, and often it was times that were difficult. We'll contact her parents and encourage them to write further to her and get that connection and communication going between them, and we'll encourage Roberta to do the same. I'll actually write an email tonight to the folks at Sunburst to encourage her to reach out to her parents. That will probably be for the better.
and what time do you think you're having this conversation with her?
5:30.
5:30. And she'll say,
Mr. Welker, could you... I know it might be late, but what's the chance that I could meet up with you tonight at 8:30 to pick those up from you?
No problem.
Oh, excellent. Could we maybe meet at...
and she chooses a...
CD Motel.
Actually, yeah, I think she does choose like a hotel that has a bar, but it's like you would expect it to be nicer. Like when you guys go and stay, I'm going to show my lack of knowledge about hotels, but like when you guys go, for instance, like when Ashton and Mr. Welker went to go talk to folks at corporate, to talk to Anna Cross and Mirzad Pushanchi, you guys went and probably stayed at the equivalent of like a Marriott and had like a fairly nice rooms of your own and that kind of thing. And yeah, there's a restaurant and a spa and all kinds of shit like that in the hotel. She's going to a hotel that has a bar. She asks you to meet her at the bar. And you're like, this is a shittier hotel than I would expect.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. That works. No problem there. I'll like be on the way out the door, and Mrs. Walker is like, "Oh, I thought you were staying for dinner." He's just like, "No time."
Yeah, and she just says to you, like, "Do you know when you're going to be home?"
You know how these things are. No, I don't.
And I think what does she say to you to express the idea of, I thought we had gotten past this and things were getting better?
I thought we had gotten past this and things were getting better.
She's needle pointed that onto a pillow and she just holds it up.
Yeah, he's just been working on this cross stitching for like several weeks.
Yeah.
It's the first opportunity to use it.
She has a cake with that written in frosting. No, but yeah, she she just turns to you and says, like I thought we had gotten past this and that things were settling down.
And Walker will say, "Hey, listen, honey," and he like take a step in. He's like, "You know that I'm in line. That there's a lot of eyes on me right now at the company. This is for the family. Everything I do is for this family. You understand that, right?"
You say that to Julia Welker, and then the next thing we see is you're on the road, like you are going. Darkblade, that evening, what are you up to?
Darkblade's, well, he's doing some research into witches. And he's at his local comic book shop. He's going through the codexes and rule books of different, of all different editions of many different RPGs and seeing what all the witches have in common.
Yeah, so you're going through stuff, and there's another guy who's with you, and
it's all based on, you know, if they have something in common, it's like religion, you know. There's something right about all of them, but
you're literally saying that out loud to a guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, but what do you think of the 3rd edition? Am I right?"
Yeah, I thought that 3rd edition was just a money grab. They changed barely anything from the 2nd edition, and they put a vampire on the front with big tits. I mean, come on, it's a money grab.
He's like, "Pretty hot though, right?"
Super hot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I bought the poster too. It's still on my wall.
Oh yeah. All right. So, what question are you what are you actually trying to find? You're trying to find information about witches?
Yeah.
Okay. So, how are you, and you're going about that by looking through kind of pop culture things, especially in the realm of comics and gaming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guy wishes too. I want to see if there's guy wishes.
All right. Well, from the last thing, you're fairly positive there are, but go ahead and make me a sharp roll, Darkblade. Unless you have a specific move that you're like, here's what I could use for this.
No, that's it. So I roll a 8.
You rolled an 8. One of the things that you look through is you're like, witches, huh? Can there be guy witches? Oh, they are. Sometimes they're called warlocks. Sometimes they're sorcerers. Sometimes they're mages. And you're looking at some of the stuff, and one of the things you notice is those storms, those unseasonable storms. Sometimes tempests and the like are connected to witches in a lot of pop culture and like even classical literature. But another thing that stands out to you that it's connected to is vampires. Ooh. Specifically in a lot of different editions or iterations of Dracula, there are all of these like kind of stories about like the weather being connected to what's going on. And you look at a comic book version of Dracula that tries to like accurately portray the novel in comic book form. And one of the big things is one of the big things that you find is that Dracula seemingly, when in certain situations, was able to conjure up these storms.
Mm.
So that's something that you kind of find out, and you are left in a situation where you're like, wait, what was different during that time of those storms that lasted for like a week and a half, 2 weeks?
Well, what was different about them?
Ooh, what was your result on that roll? You only got an 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's the big thing, that you're like left with a new question of what was different, what was happening. And that, unfortunately, the other guys at the comic book store are like, I don't know, man. All the news is totally fake. I'm just here with these luscious titas. And he's just looking at that vampire rack from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, and you're like, what do you think, buddy? And it's a little kid. And he's like, I don't know. I'm a little kid. But I love those titas.
Yeah, he's talking about how he's like, oh yeah, I love grabbing titas. They're Every weekend I grab Tita's,
Mhm.
and they feel like bags of sand.
Yeah, a combination of the Access Hollywood tape and the 40-year-old virgin really had an effect on this kid, and not
Yeah.
and yeah, it's unfortunate. So, Mr. Welker, you head to the there used to be a bar in Orlando. It was technically in Winter Park. David, you and I went there for sure. Alex, you may have come with us one time. It was a small hotel that like wasn't particularly nice. It wasn't in a bad part of town. It was actually in like a fairly nice part of town, but like it was a no frills hotel, and it had this bar attached to it. It was called the Red Fox Lounge. Do you have anybody have a shot for a name at this bar that Anna Cross has you meet her at?
Green Snake Lounge.
The Green Snake. I like Green Snake. Doesn't sound great.
Bowling Green. The Green Town. Yep, I'm out of ideas.
Anybody else want to throw something in? Green should probably be in it.
Green Dream.
The Green Dream.
What
if it's like the dream? What if it's the Dreamland Greens Hotel?
Yes.
This is a Kirby level.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You suck people in. Yeah, the Dreamland Greens Hotel is a hotel in Palmetto City proper, but kind of like towards the outskirts. It's fairly nearby to the interstate. And so it's not really very nice, but it's also not gross. It's like a step up. It's technically a motel, I think.
Oh wait, isn't Dreamland like the nickname for LA? You could make it like all this garbage, like Hollywood, like really like tacky, like pretend Hollywood garbage everywhere in this hotel. That's their theme.
Sure. So yeah, this is the Dreamland Hotel.
I think that's right. I might be making that up. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
I don't know.
Does anybody have a preference real strongly, one way or another?
Not by Ant's antenna whisker.
Okay, so the Dreamland Hotel is a kind of like a Hollywood themed hotel. There's a lot of pictures of like old movie stars from the 40s and 50s, the kind of golden age of Hollywood. They kind of extend past that into the 60s a little bit. There's a lot of like Frank Sinatra, Marilyn Monroe, James Dean, some Elvis, some very early, like you're kind of getting the vibe of the place that it could have been a 1950s diner, but they went back a little bit further in time than they meant to and just had general Hollywood stuff there, and they don't serve food. So it's kind of a bar, and when you get there, Anna Cross is already there. And she's like, oh, hello. And when you'd seen her in the past, she usually wears like a smart kind of power suit. That's instead she's wearing kind of a blouse and not jeans, but like just like black pants. And when you come in, she's got like a beer that she's drinking. She's like,
Please, come grab a seat.
Sure, of course. He does that, and he orders like an old-fashioned. Not even ironically, he's just old-fashioned.
Nice. Okay, and the guy's like, all right, sure. And you see that this is the kind of bar where... did we already do this? Where it's the kind of bar where the guy has to look at like a little thing to see what's in an old-fashioned? That like he's a shitty bartender and he has to like kind of look it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's got like a bunch of cards that he flips through at the bar to be like, gotcha, here it is. And so he's making this. And she says...
Just to make sure you've got those You've got that paperwork.
Oh,
correct?
of course. He gives it over, and he'll make one more inquiry, and Roberta be like, they were understandably a bit confused. I wasn't aware that they had so little contact with Roberta. She's not avoiding them, is she?
She might be. She might be avoiding them. She's going through a lot of therapy.
And she'll keep she's looking around a lot. Anna Cross is like looking around a bunch to see who's listening, who's talking. The place is fairly empty. And she'll say like,
Given that we're trying to discover, well, Sunburst Medical is trying to discover essentially what her condition is, what's going on there, understanding fully how to help her is difficult. We have to understand what's going on and what's wrong. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you that they're not sure yet. Things are often in transition, and so I think the goal is to help her how we can by being able to be more dynamic in how we approach things.
Okay. So, he sort of like has these surface level doubts about Roberta, and he'll like get past those. Other than that, he'll just be like, is there anything she wants to talk about?
ooh, that's good. She'll ask you about, she asks you about, like...
You and... What is your intern... Wait, he's not an intern.
No interns on this team. Miss Greene is a full-fledged member of Lore Corps.
Yes. How has he been doing?
Exemplary as always. We've just brought our team back to full strength status with the return of Mr. Charms, and we are excited to take on our next case.
That's good. Have you found another case? I mean, since you brought in... I'm not trying at all to disparage.
And she'll order another drink, and I think it's like a much stiffer drink. And when it kind of comes over... Yeah, exactly. She does that dance. She orders like a much stiffer drink, and she kind of takes that, and she'll say like... And she'll kind of try to calm herself and say...
Obviously, you're good at what you do, and your team has had results. But there haven't been results from your team in several months. There was your initial success, and then you brought in Miss Hellinger. But since then, there hasn't been anything.
Well, he'll say... He'll lean in close to be like, well, in our line of work, no news is good news, isn't it?
If we were in the prevention industry, that would be correct. But at the moment, our goal is research, and that requires subjects to study. When we don't have those, that's not good news.
He'll say, well, we've always got our ears to the ground, and we're looking into potential cases right now. Obviously, I'll update the office as soon as we have anything solid. But rest assured, we're not waiting. We're looking.
Is there any way that there's information that's not getting to us? We're concerned that there's information about possible acquisitions that's just not coming in. It's either being viewed as unimportant, or worse, it's somehow getting routed the wrong way, and it's not getting to the people it needs to get to. Is that possible?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
And
I think you are referring to something very specific. I'm not sure what it is. Why don't you just level with me, Miss Cross?
She'll like look around again, and again, this place is very, very empty. But she'll ask,
do you want to come to my room?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. For business purposes, obviously. Yes.
And, okay. And she'll go and talk to the bartender for a second. I think she'll tell you the room number, and she'll talk to the bartender, and so you can get there a second beforehand, before she arrives. And so, like, if you go to the door, maybe she gives you the key. And so you can get to this room, and it's just like it's a small room with like a queen bed and like a bathroom. There's maybe like a microwave and a mini fridge and that kind of thing. It's fairly lackluster, again, compared to the rooms that you guys stayed in, which were not these palatial suites or anything like that. But this seems like a good step down from that. And she comes back in pretty soon afterwards, and I think she has like a bottle of since you were drinking like a drink that has whiskey in it, some kind of whiskey, and
There should be ice in the freezer from earlier.
All right. Yeah. No, he'll still be compliant.
she'll say,
In your team, is there anyone who is perhaps holding back on their reports? I know that they report to you and you report to us, but is there anyone that is perhaps not providing you with the information? Anyone you
Says
doubt?
absolutely not. And since these questions are only arising now, I can assume that Mr. Charms is not under suspicion, since he's only recently rejoined the team. So if you're asking if either Mr. Blade or Mr. Greene are suspect in their loyalty to either me or the corporation, the answer is no.
I'm asking because I don't want to face... because the more likely answer is much more unnerving. How confident are you in Mr. Bishop?
Ooh. Mr. Welker will have that exact reaction in his head, where he's like, "Oh shit, didn't see that coming." He'll say, "Mr. Bishop seems like Mr. Bishop presents himself as a fixture of the corporation, and it's often not the role of someone who isn't a fixture to question people like that."
and she'll say,
I've been having doubts about his performance. He disappeared for some time. We hadn't heard from him for a matter of weeks, as if he just vanished. Theoretically, he left the country, but then we didn't hear from him. Additionally, with some research, I discovered that Bishop, which I suspected was not his actual name, from what I was able to find, his actual name is Tim Marcy. After a less than decorated career in the military, he served in what was essentially a mercenary outfit run by a security company. Now I know that's not too different from what he does for us, but given that kind of past, that kind of record, and given that so much of what he does for us is cloaked in secrecy, if we're not finding things, I'm wondering if perhaps he's diverting this information. If it's being kept from us, if he's attempting to use it in some kind of way, and I need to know. Is there anything he's told you or done that makes you suspicious of his intentions? And if so, what are those things?
All right, so I want a reader to
Absolutely.
see if this is a test or not.
mm-hmm.
What is that roll?
Well, again, in this, you could do this as a bad situation, for sure.
All right, bad situation. I got a 7.
Okay, so then you get to ask one of those bad situation questions.
Are there any dangers I haven't noticed?
Yes.
What?
You're listening to this lady talk, and you realize she's trying to get more information from you, and you realize the person you've heard talk to someone like this, and that person is Detective Sloane Winters, and you realize this lady's a cop or some kind of informant, and she's trying to get information from you about the company.
That's a hell of a reader person. All right, now we're cooking. All right. All right. Woo! So his half chub will go down to a quarter chub.
Mm-hmm.
And,
the science of it.
Okay. Oof, that was close.
Yeah, so this lady is some kind of informant or just straight up is a cop.
Okay, cool. So, he'll say, listen, Miss Cross, how long have you been working for the company?
And in one form or another, I've worked there for 4 or 5 years.
And having worked for our company for so long, surely you know that everyone who works here is thoroughly vetted.
She says,
I would have thought that, but looking at some of these things about Bishop, I'm not trying to insult you, but some of our contractors would hardly be considered thoroughly vetted. like sundry charms, for instance.
And yet he remains one of my trusted teammates. And I think that decision wasn't made by me. It was made by the company. And he'll say, I haven't come across anything so far in my dealings with Bishop or anyone on my team that would lead me to believe that that I wasn't in good hands.
And I think she'll...
And he'll finish that by saying, "Have you?"
And I think she'll bring up this Roberta Hellinger case.
Something's going on that we're not seeing, and it's not simply because of security issues or that it's above our pay grade. My security clearance and pay grade are quite high. In the last 2 or 3 years, the number of subsidiaries, foundations, holding companies have increased exponentially. It's becoming difficult for even me to navigate some of it, and I helped build it. I'm wondering what's going on, and this stuff with Roberta Hellinger is very, very odd. We needed to get this paperwork, but I want to know more of what's going on, and I'm not getting the answers. I'm getting to the point where I don't know who to ask.
Walker will say, that makes sense. I mean, you're asking me. I never figured we were on the same peg at the totem pole. But he says, I'll tell you what, it's not like I haven't seen things. It's not like I haven't experienced things with this company that I would never have seen anywhere else, or that haven't made me ask questions. He says, if you and I want to look out for each other, I think we can only both stand to benefit from that.
Ooh. All right. So I think this seems like a good place to end this. I got a few different ways this could end, depending on how you're viewing this scene. One is you could just kind of have like a nod of hers, of like agreement of like, that sounds good, and Mr. Welker leaving. There is the much more spy movie aspect of like, this lady maybe tries to sleep with you. Yeah.
Sundry Charms has an opinion about this.
Yeah.
I disagree.
There can be something in between those for sure.
Okay, I would say that like
just hand stuff.
Just hand stuff. Just what was going on off camera before.
You know what? I say we just like kick it into the next year, given like his like family versus work dichotomy in the previous like mystery, and he is like erring on the side of work. They should do that. And now he's like, if she's not working for the cops, he's got someone working his like on his team. And if she is working for the cops, he's got something he can like give to the company. Also, it'll make it way more dramatic when his family finds out.
Okay. So yeah, so then I think that's when you say like if we could look out for each other, that would be good. I think then she like definitely kind of like makes a move towards you, like maybe puts a hand on your thigh and maybe kind of like leans in and just kisses Mr. Welker. And I think she throws herself into this. Like it starts off as like kind of a like connection moment. And then it like gets real kind of intense where she's like really kind of throws herself at you. And we kind of like, the camera moves to the windows or something like that. Or the curtains, or maybe just the bottle of whiskey or whatever, or the stack of papers. And soon afterwards, like kind of like later that night, not in the morning, but we see Chase Welker have to kind of go. Like a little while later, I don't think Mr. Welker would spend the night there at this hotel.
Oh, obviously. No.
But like afterwards, we see Mr. Welker kind of getting up and kind of getting dressed, and Anna Cross getting dressed as well, and maybe kind of like maybe washing her face or like quickly doing her hair. And what are like the parting words that you guys have to one another to this agreement of like, we'll keep a watch on this stuff?
We'll be in touch. It's like, we're in this together now, essentially.
Oh, and yeah. And she says like, I agree.
Please, if you could.
And she gives you a receipt. that basically is a receipt for like from UPS for mailing this, or from FedEx. That's what it is, from FedEx for like overnighting these documents to her. And she's like,
Please don't tell anyone that we met, that we had this discussion. It could endanger both of our places in the company. I want to make sure we know what's going on.
And you'd be like, it's like you think I've never been in my own spy movie before.
and I think she, I think that rather than that hit her like, oh, you, I think that kind of like hits her. It doesn't scare her, but it like comes to the realization of like, oh, we are doing some spy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And she will kind of imply to you like,
Well, I have to get back to...
And you can see that she's got to get to, I think like Kentucky or Atlanta or something like that. She's like,
To get back, I have to leave tonight.
so
Okay.
she essentially kind of like says, I'm going to leave. You should go too.
This American Monster is a production of This American Dice. This American Monster uses the Monster of the Week system, a game published by Evil Hat Productions and by Michael Sands. Sundry Charms is Lee. Chase Welker is Carl. Darkblade 69 is Alex. Ashton Greene is David. And your Game Master is Austin Smith. Our theme song is by Patrick Ross. It's called Sinlude. Additional music for this episode included Tend to It by Osiris Saline. Additional voice talent for this included Kate Hoffman as Anna Cross.
Jago. It's called Jago.
Yeah, Juno, you're close.
I know. Yeah. I was gonna keep making a bunch of dumb jokes about it, but yeah.
Oh, keep going.
Oh yeah, he loved all the Mike and Ikes.
Wait, wasn't Jago the one that like Matt Damon or something got like Ben Affleck got an award for or something?
No, Jago's the
pretty
one.
good.
Jago's the one who like has the questionably forced sex with the dragon lady in the one show.
Oh wow. Well, I remember the meeting of the Jagos I try to avoid every year.
Go ahead, Carl.
I'm just asking what language we're speaking.
You got bit, but only partially. So now you're just a libertarian.
There you go. You
You
keep
just
talking
bit
about
me with the bottom jaw.
you keep talking about the tax victims.
Ayn Rand.